Hey guys, this will not be a very polished video. I've been out working most of the day, tinkering around and looked that way, but I wanted to just make a quick video on one topic. I have said on my Indian Springfield, I regretted buying the Ultimate seat. I bought it because it was cheaper than the Corbin. I've had Corbins on two of my bikes, one that I still have. But it was going to be expensive to get the seat and the passenger seat, the backrest. So I bought the Ultimate. And I bought it in part because they other people had recommended it. And on Ultimate's website, they pitch it as you'll sit in the bike, not on it, same as stock. And in my case, I immediately felt like I was sitting higher and more forward. And then the owner of the company, he seems like, a great company, and everybody spoke highly of them. But then it was like after the sale, it was like, oh, well, we can't guarantee that. And every rider is different. Every bike is different. How much you weigh. But it's simple measurements. So I took some, what I did out here today. I'm going to see if I can turn this around and show you. Pardon the mess here, but what I did was I took off the Ultimate seat and put the stock seat back on. And the other thing I also did for fun was on my Super Chief Limited, I took that Corbin seat off, and no surprise, that Corbin seat in no way comes, near to fitting the Springfield. It's totally different size bike and type of seat. Now, I think that seat would work on the Chiefs and some other bikes that are like that one. And similarly, I think you can buy, this is a 111. You can buy other seats for the 111 other than the Springfield, and they would fit. But in my case, what I wanted to see was how it felt now that I've been riding this for 8,000 or 9,000 miles, whatever I put on it. And immediately I could tell I was lower in the bike and my feet were touching the ground completely on both sides. And Corbin wants you to measure from the back seat bolt to where you're sitting. And they want someone to measure you while you're sitting on it. And basically what we measured, I made some reminder notes, and if I get these wrong, I'll do a pop-up in the comments. But basically, we measured both. And from here to here, basically where I was sitting, we measured 17 inches. And on the Ultimate seat, same experiment, 18.5 inches. So this one's sitting me 1.5 inches closer. Doesn't sound like much, but I can definitely tell it when I'm on the bike. I did not measure height or width. Both companies, I think, list the specs on their website, and if I can find them while I'm doing the video, I'll put them. But I think the complaint from some people is that this is wider, so it takes your hips out, and it's not that the seat is taller, it's that your legs are more splayed out. Now, Indian will tell you their close seat, Corbin will tell you that the close version of their seat is not as wide so that your feet will touch. But the problem is, I traded messages with Corbin, and they told me that if I wanted the stock feel of this seat, to order their close version of the Corbin. The problem is they have a photo on their website that says the close seat is 19.5 from here to here, thereabouts. Well, that's actually closer than the Ultimate. And again, if there's anything I'm saying wrong that I've misunderstood, you guys can correct me in the comments. But on their website, it says their standard seat is 17 inches from here to here, which is what we measured on the stock seat. The problem with that is I have 2 emails from Corbin telling me that their stock seat, their standard seat for this bike at 17 inches is designed to move you further away and up compared to the stock seat from Indian. So I don't know what to make of it all. Corbin also notes on their website, when I've bought for my Scout and for the Super Chief Limited, I had no problems ordering, no problem really at all. Installed them, rode them immediately, felt great. On this bike, they have a note on the Corbin website saying that their measurements that they took don't jive with the measurements they've taken So it creates this uncertainty, and these seats are not cheap, right? It creates this uncertainty about what to order. And especially when they're saying on their website that their seat is designed to move you away and up compared to the stock Indian seat. Based on my measurements, at least from that rear seat bolt to where I'm sitting, it is 17 inches. That is the same. But if you're on some Indian discussion forums or Reddit groups, it's all over the board where people say they didn't like the Corbin because it moved them away. And based on what Corbin had told me, I would agree. But on the measurements, we're not getting to 19 and a half for sure. And I'm comfortable. I like that stock seat. I like where my legs are. I like where my arms are. If you own a Springfield and you've been down this path, please weigh in. You know, I would love to buy a used Corbin. The problem is some of the patterns I've seen people order. I wouldn't like the patterns on my seat. So that part stinks. And also, if you order one, you can't return it to Corbin. And selling these things is very, hit or miss. It's so time consuming. I ended up selling the Corbin seat on my Scout with the Scout just to get the bike sold quicker. And I know I don't like this seat from Ultimate, and I've put a lot of miles on it. I still feel a little cramped in the legs, and I'd like both feet to be able to touch. But bigger than that, it's really not the feet, because I'm actually at stoplights. I usually just have one foot down anyway. It's really the fact of feeling like I'm sitting in the bike and the center of gravity compared to on the Ultimate. I feel like I'm sitting on the bike and up. And anyhow, that's it. I just thought I'd share this. One more comment, guys. I was out here trying to do the length, the width, and the depth. The problem is I just don't know where Corbin, for example, is measuring on these things. And I asked my wife kind of her opinion. So we had two of us looking at it, and we both agree. It's like there's so much padding and foam on the seat. And the fact that Corbin said that their measurements don't jive with Indian's own measurements also raises some concern on my part that I'm not getting the same measurements either. So I don't even think my measurements are going to mean a whole lot, because Corbin raises its own confusion with what they said, and I don't know how they measured. All right, so I'm probably not going to add a bunch of measurements. One more video before I close out. I went to put these two seat bolts back in. And with the stock seat, they go right in, no problem whatsoever. On the Ultimate seat, every time that I go to put that seat back on, getting these two little screws in is like a battle royal. And I've tried to look if there's something under the seat that's keeping it from going lower, but I just think it's constructed differently or something. I just slip these in with no problem. Simple. Whereas on the Ultimate, often I have to get somebody to come sit on the bike, or I lean over it, or I push down. So I just think there's something up with that as well. See you on the road.